Today we're going to go from this to this. Stick around. Okay, today we need to super clean this 1957 VW Beetle transmission. This method could apply to anything, engines, aluminum transmissions. This one happens to be magnesium, but we will treat this like it's aluminum, and there's some special steps to take, but I'll show you the whole process I do to get this super cleaned and back into the car. Okay, so our first step is you want to get one of these sprayers, a gallon of WD-40. This is going to be our kind of like a pre-soak. These sprayers are great. I also use them for brake clean. You can buy brake clean by the gallon and save about half as much as if you would bought aerosol cans. Same with WD-40. So what we'll do is we'll fill this up. It's a brand new sprayer. Now we'll go ahead and start spraying this down with our WD-40. Okay, so there we have it. I have it soaking, pretty much saturated with the WD-40. And what I'm going to do is, after this dries up a little bit, in an hour, couple hours, I'll keep hitting it again, probably 2-3 times tonight, and then we'll let it sit overnight, and that'll really get into all of that grime and loosen that up. And then we'll power wash it, and then we'll go on to our next step of cleaning. Yeah, when I was putting this transmission on the engine stand, I found a note inside of the bell housing. It says April 10th, 93, Doug and Jacob. So probably putting an engine in, I would guess. This did have a later engine in it when I got it. It's ironic because I also found a note inside this car in the headliner. When I pulled the headliner down, it was wedged up behind the headliner about how life sucked in 1963 high school. So it's really interesting, the stuff you can find in these old cars. If you found anything interesting in any old cars, put it down in the comments. Interested to hear. So we're going to let this soak overnight. This is 2 coats on here. I might hit it one more time. It's really soaking that WD-40 in. It really works well for the initial cleanup. You can see even that some of those really caked on spots are starting to crack and peel kind of away. Okay, so it's Saturday. 24 hours, and it's loosened this all up really good. I'm going to just try going ahead and power washing it and not scraping on it, and we'll see how that works. It's taking it right down. That WD-40 really works good as a solvent, and it's 100% neutral. It's not acidic or alkaline. You can let it sit on this aluminum or magnesium as long as you want. It won't do anything to it. Okay, so there you have it. After a power washing, the WD soaked down for 24 hours, and that just came off like butter. It was really easy power washing. Probably could have done it with a garden hose. It really loosens up that grease, and no scraping whatsoever. I'd say it's 90% done for getting the grease off. There are some spots in there still, but our next step will take care of that. So on to the next step. Okay, we're on to our next step, and that's a heavy-duty degreaser. This here is ZEP. It's heavy-duty citrus degreaser, and it's safe on aluminum. You want to get something safe on aluminum. That means it has a low alkaline value, so it won't pit or etch the aluminum surface at all. I've had really good luck on aluminum and magnesium with this ZEP here. You could use like a super clean like this here. This has a higher alkaline, so it does attack the grease better, but I would only use this if it's like a cast iron case or something like that you're working on. I would not use that on aluminum. And if you did, I'd get it on and off as fast as possible. But this, you can let it kind of sit. This works really good. And then what I do is I mix it 50-50 with hot water, and I just put it in my ultrasonic cleaner and crank the heat up to, almost boiling. So this is really hot, which is ideal for a degreaser. The warmer the better. If your transmission or engine is still in the car, I'd run it if you could and warm it up. But this is the best case scenario for ours that's out of the car, and that's heating it up to almost boiling. And we'll go ahead and put it into our sprayer. And this is nice for filling the sprayer because it has the valve on the side. Now we got some real hot degreaser. Okay, we have our scalding hot degreaser solution here. So we'll start spraying it down. Okay, now that we have a good coat of degreaser on here, we'll go ahead and power wash it off. And let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then this here is the second coat. Okay, here's the final step, and that's aluminum brightener. And this stuff works great on aluminum. If you have an aluminum case, this will come out great. But since this is magnesium, it will brighten it a little bit, but it leaves a chalky white residue when it dries. So what we need to do is go over it with like a brass wire brush on a drill or an angle grinder, and just knock that haze off, and underneath it it'll be very bright. What we do is mix it 4-to-1 into just a hand spray bottle, and we'll just mist that on. You leave it on for about 20 seconds and then rinse it off right away. And like I say, it'll brighten a little bit on the magnesium. On aluminum, it's awesome. There's no further steps, but there's a step where we do have to, either with a hand brush or a brush on a drill, just knock that white haze off of the magnesium. I don't know if Volkswagen added some zinc into their alloy to make it maybe flow better or cast better, but there's something in there that reacts to this acid that gets that white chalky oxidation layer, I think is what it is. But we'll go ahead and apply that now. Okay, so you want to start with a wet surface, and then we'll spray it down here. I'll do this little section. You can see that foaming means it's working. It's a real mild acid. This actually came with a gold chromate finish on it, so this won't show quite the dramatic difference as if it was aluminum. So let that sit for about 30 seconds, and then we'll wash it off. Okay, so it's sat and worked, and we'll wash it. And it brightened it a little. This does have that gold haze from the chromate finish that Volkswagen gave it at the factory. So you can kind of see the difference here between that and that. This is an actual aluminum plug that's in here, and you can see how bright it shined that up. So go ahead and treat the whole transmission with the brightener. Okay, so there they are sandblasted. Now we'll get them into primer. Okay, here we have it in this is just an etch primer. And I'll go ahead and put some gloss black on here. Okay, I did some wire brushing here. I started with this drill with the wire brush on it, but it was a little too aggressive. It left some scratches in there. So what I did is just went to a wire brush, and this aluminum brightener just leaves that white kind of haze on there, and it comes off pretty easy. So it's pretty easy just to spend 5-10 minutes with the wire brush to get that haze off, and it's nice and shiny underneath it. And there it is. Just took a little bit of wire brushing to get that haze off. Now it's nice and shiny, or as shiny as magnesium is going to get. Here's a sample of the aluminum brightener on an aluminum fan shroud. I just took and did 2 applications of like 30 seconds and just wiped them off with a cloth. And that's what it came up with there. It's kind of the before, it's that gray, and then after. Works really good on aluminum. Like I say, on the magnesium, it just leaves that white haze that you need to remove with a wire brush. Now we'll go ahead and put the axle tubes on, the miscellaneous hardware, and I'll show you how I put solid axle boots on. If you have your engine or transmission out of your Volkswagen, always go with the solid axle boots. There's no need for those split boots. Those are guaranteed to leak. Okay, so here's our solid axle boots, and what I'm going to do is use my ultrasonic cleaner again for the heat, and we'll soak these to loosen them up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is deburr this edge here. It's a little rough in areas, and what I use is just a Scotch-Brite pad on an angle grinder, die grinder. So I'll go over that edge. This one here is pretty rough, so I'm going to step up to the coarser roll-lock disc. I'll go back to the smoother one. Now that's real smooth. Okay, I have it clamped up in the vise here, and I have the boot out of the hot solution, just soapy water. I did put some silicone grease on here to help it along. And you basically want to get it on as far as you can. 2 long screwdrivers. And that's all there is to it. Now we gotta flip it back right side out. Okay, so there they are completed. I'll wait to clamp them until they're on the car, so you want to make sure that these are all in the right position. And then the last thing you do is clamp the boots up. So we'll go install them on the transmission now. Okay, we have our new gasket here. And I'm going to put some Curel T on it. Curel T2 actually. It's only going to cure where it's sealed. Anything that oozes out actually will get emulsified in the oil and you can drain it out. It's not like silicone that'll plug up spaces. So this is great. I use this on engine cases, all kinds of stuff. Anytime you need like a flange or a gasket seal. It even works good on rubber, like the pushrod tubes, the rubber O-rings on the pushrod tubes. I use this, they'll never leak. It never dries unless it's completely sealed. And then it just kind of turns to a rubber. So it's easily taken apart also. Thin coat's all you need. These go to 14 foot-pounds, kind of in a cross pattern. put some assembly lube on here. So there it is with a super clean, complete. Came out really nice. The hardest part was just the wire brushing that film off it at the end. But that wasn't too bad. 10-15 minutes. So if you like the video, please subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you on the next one.